Situated in the Champlain Valley between Lake George and Lake Champlain, lies a fortress with a military history that few forts around the world can rival. Built in 1755 at the beginning of the French and Indian War, Fort Carillon was a strategic installation for its French builders and key to controlling the route between the Hudson River Valley and Canada. 4 years later, Fort Carillon was captured by the British and renamed Fort Ticonderoga after a nearby town and taken from the Iroquois Indian word Ticonderoga, meaning place between two waters. Over a decade, the fort remained a quiet British outpost in the New World. However, once the American Revolution began, Fort Ticonderoga played a crucial role in the success of the fledgling Continental Army. In the spring of 1775, Benedict Arnold and Ethan Allen led the Green Mountain Boys in a pre-dawn raid of the fort. The British, taken by surprise, surrendered immediately. Not only did the capture of the fort give the colonies their first victory of the Revolution, but the cannons at Fort Ticonderoga were also transported to Boston and eventually used by George Washington to drive the British out of Boston Harbor. The fort would change hands twice more during the course of the war. The year 1777 brought to an end Fort Ticonderoga's service as an active military establishment when the British burned its buildings to the ground during their retreat after the Battle of Saratoga. When the American Revolution ended in 1783, George Washington himself visited Fort Ticonderoga, the first in a long line of visitors that turned the fort into one of the earliest heritage tourism sites in America. At the start of the 20th century, Fort Ticonderoga was restored and made into a museum. Today it sees over 90,000 visitors as they come to tour the fort and watch reenactments on its grounds. So take a trip back in time and see what life was like during the American Revolution and learn how one fort changed the course of history. New York places, they're closer than you think.